Greetings and welcome, adventurers, to another episode of Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition. Right, the Umar Hills.
Of course.
Let's go find some trouble. Yes, Minister Lloyd's house probably would be the best place to start. It's almost dawn. He's probably here.
I wouldn't dream of refusing.
Hello. I don't recognize you. You must be new to Imnesvale. Is there something I can help you with?
Actually, I spoke to a boy by the name of Delon in Athkatla. Said you were in need of assistance. You did? The boy did get to the city after all. Ah, I am pleased to hear it. You have come to our aid then, yes? Well, I need to gather coin to save a friend that's been imprisoned by the cowled wizards. Is there a reward, perhaps? Well, my village is in dire need. I'll tell you what. If you end the murders, I'll give you the armor that belonged to our first ranger protector. That was my ancestor, and I've kept it. I'm told it's wrapped up with some strong protective magics. I'd be happy to offer it, and some gold to save my village. I could be greedy, but I'm not that hungry for gold, to be honest. Tell me the details of what's been going on there, Dad.
We've had a run of killings and disappearances here as of late.
People murdered in their beds, their bodies disappearing, bodies found with their skins inside out. Normally, we would turn to our local ranger protector to aid us in a time like this, but our ranger, Morella, has vanished. Several men went to her cabin southwest of the village. They found no sign of her. It's not like her to be absent for so long. I fear the worst. Soon after, shepherds and farmers from the outlying halls began disappearing. People heard strange noises at night, and we have no rangers to turn to. Everyone's frightened, but they're scared to leave as well, else they get caught out in the wilderness by whatever has been doing the killing. And, of course, everyone has an idea what's behind all of this. It's the ogres, my husband. You know it's it. My wife, Aina. And yes, many people think it's the group of ogres that moved into the area just before the killings began. Likely is too. They're in the hills, too close to the village, I say. Yes, you can find them in the hills a bit north of here, because others think it's a pack of very large wolves that's been ranging the hills for some years. And still others claim Umar herself, the great witch of the hills, returned. Legend has it she was responsible for their deaths, much like these ones. Bah, that's just an old legend. Umar has been gone for over 500 years, my husband. Yes, true. I suppose I should warn you. I've already hired a famous knight, Mezzy Fenton, and a troop, but they haven't been back. Ooh, all this talk of Umar brings back memories, let me tell you. My great-great cousin One Knee was one of the adventurers that hunted the Great Witch of the Hills a long time ago. It said she had a fondness for little children, that our house was made out of chocolate candy, of all things. Personally, a house made of turnips sounds much more appealing, but One Knee stated decisively that the house was delicious nonetheless. According to his stories, the witch was dead. Something about getting shoved in an oven. Then Grandma Jansen said that One Knee was pretty delusional. So who knows? That sounds like a familiar story. To be honest, I think you should check on the ogres and their fellows before chasing after legends and such. So, will you? Will you help us? Alright, too much on what he said the first thing, so I will make the attempt, yes. Oh, most excellent. Please, my lord. Go to Morella's cabin and find where she is gone. My men are too frightened to go that far, village. The cabin is west of the village, in the abbey, in the valley. It should not be hard to find. There are other, older cabins in the hills, abandoned for many years. Walk north from here to the river and find out Baldur and his beasts. I've little doubt that they are responsible for all of this. Must be sure. I'm relieved you have decided to help us. You have the run of the village, my lord. If you need anything else, do not hesitate to come to me. Yeah, we'll see about that.
Oh, yes.
We have many pressing things to investigate. A couple of things we need to figure out. There's a lot of named people. Now, there was another quest that I was sort of keeping in the back of my mind. The had been listed as done, right? Well, essentially, the Richard Heitzman quest with the Skinner murders also has a thing here with the notes. Yeah. Right, so, yeah. Seek me out in the hills of Uma and single your identity with the purchase of a book, the history of the Zentarum. This will identify you, for I do not know your name, nor should I. The need for security is paramount. You must also utter my secret name, constructed from the name of your immediate master. There will be no mistake with this method. Our names are the same as in their scale and their cut. The last of his begins just as the first of mine. The second of my first is the second of his first. So regress a full 4 steps. The third of my first is 4 more than the last of his first. The entire last of my first is the last of his first. Except the first one of these is the first of my last. Yeah.
Ho hum, ho hum. Oh look, did the grass just grow another half-inch? Wonders.
We'll be figuring that out soon.
Don't walk 5 feet these days without someone hitting him up.
And I brought you most of the outlying and farms and herders. No one's safe if they are alone for a minute. And even here you ain't safe. And you have a double name. And you have a hammer, so I'm guessing you're merchants?
Greetings, good customer. A pearl to you.
Ah, good day to you, sir. It's nice to see a new face in the village for once. We haven't had many travelers here since all the killings began, naturally. I'm pleased to show you some of my goods I have to sell, although I must warn you, our mercantile company hasn't had much opportunity to deliver lately, so goods are sparse. Well, what can you tell me about all these killings? Ah, now that's a tale and a half, mind you. Don't listen to the dribble these villagers tell you. They'll have you half believing that a 500-year-old witch is on the prowl. See, the real story is that there's a pack of wolves that decided to come to the village area here and pick people off. You can't even travel much unless you've got an armed guard. Makes for poor business, it does. The company thought it was a good thing when we won exclusive rights to Imnesvale from the council. Now it's just losing us money. Oh, well, then why doesn't everyone just leave? Well, some people still think the problem can be solved. I hear the mayor hired a band of adventurers to look into it, but they've disappeared. No one wants to travel alone. If something isn't done soon, they might decide to all leave together. It's a shame. This is a prosperous village otherwise. Good business, usually. Well, show me what you have to sell, then. Always willing to satisfy a customer? With gold, that is. Well, I don't think you have much of interest. Yeah, just regular fare, really. You might have some potions. You have some +2 ammo, which could be useful. And nothing really I'm caring about. What about you?
Have a look at my wares. I trust you'll find them all in satisfactory condition.
Hello there. What can I do for you this fine day? If you need a trinket or two, or do you need directions? What is of interest around here? Got a little intrigue happening, though nothing a traveling company armed as you are would be interested in. Well, there have been a few people go missing. Most disturbing was the Ranger Morella. Disappeared after searching for the first person to go missing. Some peasant. The cabin was in the southwest, so I don't really know what you would find there. Not much care, really.
You'll find no better prices in Amn. I guarantee it.
What do you have? Alright, you have the potions. Right. So you have that book. I'll get back to you.
You'll find no better prices in Amn. I guarantee it.
I just know one of these days, one of those ogres are gonna come down and massacre me, just like the other villagers. I never thought of something like this when I became a merchant. What do you know about these killings? Oh, it's a terrible thing, isn't it? People dying left and right. You can hardly find a customer anymore. That's probably okay, because nobody will restock me now anyway. Somebody should do something about those ogres, though. Ever since they came, it all started. All my caravans once got attacked by ogres. They're evil and brutal. Well, let's see what you have in stock. Oh, I suppose so, but there isn't much. Caravans just won't come here unless they're stocked with guards, and that doesn't make very profitable now, does it? Alright, some shields. Some armor. I mean, that's kind of nice, but not better than what I already have. You?
Useful gadgets I have. Yes, I do.
Yes, what is it you want exactly? If you want to buy something, then say so quickly, because I've got little enough time to spare for the likes of you. Sure, let's see what you have. Fine, but don't touch anything unless you're planning on buying it. Friendly person. Ooh. That's some nice looking ale. I think I might find a use for that. Ooh, another gem bag. Who wants another gem bag? I may want another gem bag. Here, I have a gem bag. Gem bag. Alright. Let us see if I can remember this one.
Have a look at my wares. I trust you'll find them all in satisfactory condition.
One copy of this book, please.
Well, you look like the sort who has more than 2 gold pieces to rub together.
Alright. You've made an interesting selection. You know, you used to peddle books in Afkatla under another name. Perhaps you were a customer. Call me by the name I used before, and perhaps I have a discount for you. Alright, so... Right. I know sort of what I was talking about. That one guy that cast the ice storm in the basement of the Regic Heitzman's shop. That person has a name, and then has to be scrambled in order to get the name for this fellow. I think it's Villain Dawn. Nope. Alright. Let me just quickly look. Be there in a moment. Alright. Let's try that again.
You'll find no better prices in Amn. I guarantee it. Have a look at my wares. I trust you'll find them all in satisfactory condition.
Alright, turns out I was not quite so far off as I thought. But I'd misremembered. Awesome qualities. Indeed it was. As I said in the letter, I'm sorry for these simple games. Merely a ruse to throw off the foolish gods of Afkantla. Trust you have the armor almost complete. Yes, I do. It's not quite done yet, though. Of course, I will add the final touches, but I do need the most important ingredient first. Your workmanship is unparalleled, but it needs something special. The skins were exquisite, but now their need must be blood. You know what I need. Bring me the blood of a dragon. A silver dragon. Certainly. Any idea where I might find one? None whatsoever. You are the artist. You find one. Right, that encounter is always a little bit unsettling. Alright.
I wouldn't dream of refusing. Be merry, friend.
Never recognizing you. Sure, man. Yeah, you can come to take me home? That depends. Where is your home? Well, Vincenzo's here be a good home, any. As long as I do sleep in barn, a haystack. Sometimes I do sleep in the woods. Oh, with all his murdering and all, Vincenzo does that put sleep in the attic, does. Maybe goodbye, Vincenzo. What do you know about these murderings, as you call them? I know the street name is safe letter of Brian and Eppin. That's for sure. Vincenzo took me in. Yeah, man, me be number taken to my witch, eh? What's up, and you know if the my witch is right? I see shapes in the moons and nights. I live in shadows. And I mean, the town run, nobody lives in my eyes to say. Truth be told, I even a little more frightened to stay outside this. You can find anything like this, not? The world has changed, eh? Indeed. Alright, let's talk to Vincenzo the Innkeep. Such interesting names these people have.
Never had rats. No sorry.
Hello to you and a good day. I am Vincenzo and I offer you all the service of my humble little inn. There are a lot of things to be said about your inn, Vince. But humble ain't the one I'd be picking, eh? Hush, boy. And keep calling me Vince and I'll have you strapped to over the log. The name's Vincenzo. That's a lot of rock. He hears that name from a Sembian trader and suddenly he'd be pulling on airs. Pah! Never mind the boy. He's arrogant and loud that I took in out of pity. A simpleton who doesn't know his place. Is that all I can do for you, my good lord? What do you know about the killings around here? Ah, Vincenzo knows the truth. My family has been here in this area for a long, long time. The tales of the witch Umar have been passed down, they have. You're not going into that rot again, are you? Silence, boy. Perhaps I should give you to the witch instead, as an offering, eh? Leave you out on the doorstep with a lace of garlic tied around your neck. Well, I thought I'd shut your trap. Now then, my lord, I can tell you all about the witch, Umar. A tale sure to curl your ears if you care to hear it. Go ahead, I've got some time, about 10 minutes. Like I said, me family has been around these parts for a long time. We were here back when the witch herself plagued these lands over 700 years ago. Umar was a wicked one. No one else saw her, except when she came down from the hills to steal some unfortunate soul. Shepherds, babes, anyone who weren't careful. She'd torture them. You could hear the cries during the night. People tried to find her, but only the victims' bodies would turn up. Mutilated and dead. Don't know why they didn't just kill her. Because they couldn't find her, you stupid boy. When you're not listening. And besides, she were a powerful witch with plenty of magic for any fight. Strange thing is, my lord, we were just Vanished one day. Maybe she were killed, maybe not. Every century or so, it is said she come back to the hills. Ah, this is where it gets right funny, your story. I'm warning you, boy. You'll be out on your ass faster than you can blink if you keep this up. As I said, every century or so, she comes again. People disappear, tortured in the hills, and sometimes they are only the bodies are found. Once Uma sated herself on blood, she returns to whence she came. This is just like them other times. People's most forget so easily. This is the witch, I tell you. Has nobody tried to find the witch in recent years? Well, there was a group of mages some years back who came. Young ones. Apprentices, I gathered. 2 fellas and a young lass, sure enough. They were sent by the master to look into the Uma witch, so they said. Nice enough group, but too obvious they were expecting nothing. I remember them. Alright, for mages. Lots nicer than a German fella. Nah, you should go and soak his head. Aye, true enough. The 3 of them went into the hills, and they were never found again. But for the lass's journals. I found those myself out in the woods. All victims of the Uma herself, sure as daylight. You can read it in the lass's journal, sure enough. Do you think I might be able to look at this journal? Aye, you can. I had a copy or 2 done up by a scribe friend of mine some months back. You can have one if you likes. Copy or 2? Well, like you got a whole storeroom full of copies of that journal, you bleeding banana. Well, so what if I have? Just a good story, more or less. Make me bloody rich one day, and then where you'll be, you little rock rat. More unlike you wrote that journal yourself, I'd wager. I didn't know such thing. Here you go, my lord. Use it as you will. But beware, the witch if you go into the hills. He's not sated yet, not by a long shot. Alright, let's have a look at this. Also, history of this in Tarnum we no longer need. This journal seems to be that of an apprentice mage, telling the tale of her expedition into the Umar Hills with 2 other apprentices in search for evidence of the fabled witch. The tale is hard to believe, but seems to relate to the group's horror at getting lost being hounded by an unseen predator during the nights. The script is in a panicky feminine hand, and the last page can barely be made out as follows. Sorry to Joshua's mother. I'm sorry about what happened to Michaelis. There's something out here with us. We thought it to be peasants, but peasants aren't this clever. Joshua says it's the witch. I hear her when I sleep. I don't want to sleep. I don't want to sleep. I don't want. The journal ends there. Yeah. If only I had ever actually seen the Blair Witch Project, that might have actually made more of an impact when I first saw that.
You wear the scars of battle with pride, Anaman, like one who truly believes his cause.
Considering he was already judged unfit to be a knight.
I must. It is what pushes me forward. Doubt is the enemy.
Those that never question do not see the whole of the issue. The whole issue is not important. It is only the here and now, and what can be done within. The world is small, if focused. The more impressive picture is always larger than you can see. Alright, it doesn't come to blows for now. Bookseller, alright.
Well, you look like the sort who has more than 2 gold pieces to rub together.
Sorry, ain't got much in the way of tomes today. Been real slow here. I shipped most of my stock to Afgatla. Ain't talked to anyone in weeks, actually. Business has been that bad because of all the nasty events around here recently? Aye, that it is. So, there have been quite a few old books turning up around here to make it worthwhile. Nothing startling, but I get by. Enjoy your stay as best you can under the circumstances. Alright. Well, that's pretty much all the information we're going to get out of here. I don't really feel like checking the rooms.
Yes.
Alright, so Suppose we should look into things. I don't know if everything is in the right place yet to be triggered. Oh, he looks like a distressed fellow. Oh, greetings to you, stranger. Who are you? My name is Dar, and I am no importance, I suppose. At least nobody important enough that my love's father might vaguely consider me allowing me to court her. No, why not? My love is Colette, and her father is a wizard of no small power, and possessed of a considerable bias against me. His name is Javian. I understand he intends to use Colette as a bargaining tool for some grisly endeavor of his own. Against her will, I imagine, although I had no chance to ask her opinion. I know she wants to go with me. I know it. But her father will have none of it. He intends to go through great lengths to keep us apart. Oh, woe is me. Perhaps I could speak to him for you. Speaking is my speciality. It would give no use, I'm sure, and I do not wish to use violence in such an endeavor. I do not appreciate its taste. No doubt Germian would crush me with magic. You are kind to offer your assistance, but there's no helping me, I think. Leave me to my sorrow, please. Ah, that's not how I do business.
You need something, stranger?
Oh, who disturbs me? I am Arneman. Who are you? Arneman, eh? But I don't recognize your name, so long as you're not that sent by that fool Dar, and I'll object to your presence. Oh, friendly fellow. And I, since you ask, am none other than Germian, licensed coward wizard for this region. So you needn't run off and attempt to report me, boy. You're a coward wizard? And why don't you do something about the killings around here? I don't do anything about it because I don't want to do anything about it. I have more important things to do. And until the coward wizards tell me otherwise, I'll not involve myself. Can you tell me what you know about these killings, then? It's likely wolves or ogres or some other mundane nonsense. I have no interest in the matter. Why don't you ask some of the yokels if you're so concerned? What is this thing you're making? Ah, I'm glad you asked. This, my friend, is nothing other than a golem of stone, a fine piece of magical craftsmanship, if I do say so myself. Few other mages have made the attempt, you see. This type of golem is quite powerful and dangerous. I am more skilled enough to control it. Once it is complete, I'll have an excellent servant and something to keep an eye on my daughter, that foolhardy beau of hers, while I'm away. Trouble is, I'm missing one of the crucial ingredients, the blood of a mimic. I'll pay handsomely for some fact. You look like the adventurous type. Get to find me some. What is a mimic, and where could I find one? A mimic is a vicious little creature, shape-changer, that likes to attract and kill adventurers by looking like a treasure chest or something or similar objects. They generally exist in dungeons, ruins, and similar places, although where you would find one around here I haven't a clue. That's why I'm looking for some. Well, I'm saving coin to rescue a friend. What would be the reward for this task? I seem to recall that I've got a magical sword around here that I've won in a bet from that fool Tongarius. I've no use for it, but it's valuable. Might be some mimic's blood and it's yours. Alright, I'll make the attempt. Fine. I wish I could point you in the right direction, but if you do find some, you know where to find me. Off you go. And while we are here, let's talk to Colette.
Hello there.
Father will never let me marry Dar. That's all I wish to do. I don't know why he won't change his mind. He's probably just too careful of you. He likes to keep you safe.
Wow, an adventurer.
Sir. My name is Derbert. My friends here want to be adventurers like you. feel strong and powerful like. Yeah, I want to be a ranger and protect the village. I want to be a great warrior like my dad. And knows we can. But everyone says we're all too young and all. Oh, that's what I says to that. Since you're already an adventurer and all, sir, I was hoping you might maybe buy us some sword for us, some bastard swords. And some ale, Durbert, don't forget the ale. Yeah, we wants to be real, man. Sword and some ale then. If we give you the money, sir, would you buy us some? Well, it is quite a thing to do. And as it stands, I'm actually not entirely opposed to helping these boys. Although they look a bit too eager and young to be running around with swords. I'll buy you ale, boys, but you cut yourself with a sword in your hands. No, we wouldn't. We know how to use the swords. But if you buy some ale, that'd be super. Here's some gold. We saved up for it. Ah, this bites. I wanted a sword. But your mud's sure be mad if you hacked off an arm. Me, I want the ale. Sissy. Indeed. Well, that'll do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. If you like my content, please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Until then.